Hello guys, it's me, it's Sarah. Welcome to Lunar Goddess Tarot. So I don't often show my face on here, and as you know, I've been speaking of the changes that the Divine Feminine is going through, and I wanted to just come on here, show my face, let you guys see me. And I'm home, so I'm at one of my most favorite parks here in my home city, and it brings me a lot of peace and joy. So as I'm sitting here enjoying the sun going down, it's a little cooler, and sounds of nature and the quiet, I wanted to share some things from my heart with you. I'm in a place of deep vulnerability on my own journey, and as I've been talking about, the feminine is in this deep surrender, so is the masculine. But I've been focusing more on the feminine's journey for several reasons, because focusing on the masculine's journey was really draining me. And in fact, I'm not sure how it's not draining other people to talk about it, especially focusing on any karmic situations. That's not something that I'm going to be focusing on anymore, probably ever again, the karmic situations. So I'm focusing on the feminine's journey and what she's going through and what it feels like to be a runner, going from the chaser stage to the runner stage. It's taking a very heavy toll on the feminine, and I'm going to speak on my journey personally as well, so that you guys know that you're not alone. Taking a very heavy toll physically. I mean, I'll just like show you guys. I mean, these are dark circles under my eyes. I'm sleep deprived, I'm exhausted in a way that is different from the chaser stage. I'm exhausted in a completely different way. There's a lot of grief coming up. There's the energy of loss that I'm processing. As you guys know, we lost one of our family kitties, number 7. He was number 7 at the time. My mom and I have taken care of at one time up to 12 kitties. We've cared for them, gotten them vet care, fed them, loved them, given them shelter, and probably could have started a nonprofit, honestly. Probably should have. And from those 12, we're down to 8. So we've lost 3 in the past 8 months. And it's been really, this last loss of number 7 has really taken a toll on me and my heart. And what I've been processing the past month, he's been about a month already since he passed, which seems hard to believe, is all the losses that I've endured. And then you go to this place of what this journey has taken from you. And you guys know that I'm not one of those love and light teachers and healers. I'm not going to sit here and just talk about love and light in the happy, joyful aspects of the journey. I'm going to talk about the shadow aspects. I'm a Sun in Scorpio, a Venus in Scorpio. I'm a South Node in Pisces. I'm going to give you the nitty gritty. I'm going to give you the guts and the raw stuff and the real stuff. I'm not here to tell you, hey, everything's going to be okay all the time, because there are some times where it feels like it's not going to be okay. And we need to honor that space. And we need to honor the anger and honor the fear and honor the loss and honor the sadness and the heartbreak and the rejection and the disappointment and all of those things, as well as the joy and the love and the beauty and the awe and inspiration that we experience on this journey. I want to honor all parts of the journey. And I think that's what sets me apart from other readers and other teachers and healers. And you know, as I've been talking about, the feminine's going through this identity crisis, and I have been going through that in a massive way. I'm going through massive transformation. It's written all over my face. I can see it in my bone structure. I'm seeing it in how exhausted I'm looking. You could call it the disintegration phase. So there's another disintegration phase that the feminine is going through, and this can take a deep toll on you emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. I want you guys to honor that space and honor the places inside of you that are aching for your presence. And I want to honor the heart. I want to speak about the heart, because as I was sitting there today in number 7's favorite chair, grieving the loss of the physical body of him, the physical pet, the physical kitty, I was overcome with this knowledge that the heart is so much more expansive than the mind. The heart can take up so much more room and space than the mind ever could. The heart never really breaks. The heart feels and expands. The heart feels loss and grief and sadness, but then it expands again. And every time we experience a loss, we have that capacity to expand the heart even greater, even bigger, even wider. We can cast that net even wider, so we can cast our love out to more people and places that require our presence. And so that's what I'm really sitting with right now, is going through this identity shift. Realizing that not only, it's not even that I don't want to just sit here and talk about what the masculine's doing all the time. I actually can't. When I tell you guys that I'm not offering twin flame readings, I am energetically unable to do so. It drains me. I mean, it physically, I'm drained, I'm exhausted to no end. So I'm focusing on the astrology, I'm focusing on you guys, I'm focusing on your journey, I'm focusing on coaching and being able to help you and lift you up, because that is what energizes me. And you'll notice right now that the things and the people and the experiences that don't energize you are going to do the complete opposite. They're going to drain you, but you're going to have more awareness of this than ever before. So those things that are draining you suddenly they're in your periphery, they're in your vision, and you're feeling it, you're experiencing it, and you're understanding that, wow, this is not where I want to be. This is not who I want to surround myself with. This is not what I want to be doing. This is not who I am anymore. So you're questioning, who am I? What am I? Where am I going? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? How am I going to do this? And likely you're having a lot of shifts in career and shifts in what it is or how it is that you're doing things. And I know you guys are feeling that with my work. I'm not posting as much because honestly, I don't have the energy. So I'm taking that time to go within, and one of the things the feminine is working through right now also is not fearing money or the loss of the money if she takes time to herself. I've taken almost a week here just to go home. It'll be a week when all is said and done, almost 6 days, and not feeling guilty about that, and not letting fear get the best of me. Like, I should be producing, I should be working, what about this, what about that? Trusting in the process and trusting that we're going to be taken care of. I know I've spoken a lot about abundance, and I know a lot of you are going, okay, April through August, where is the abundance, Sarah? I haven't seen the abundance you've been talking about. I haven't experienced it, whether it's monetarily or the twin coming back or however you define abundance. There's many ways to define abundance. Spiritual knowledge is another way, another form. And so many of you are saying, I don't feel that. In fact, I'm feeling the opposite. I'm feeling like I'm watching my bank account shrink, and I'm watching, the clients disappearing. And this is happening. Things are being taken from us if they're not in alignment. So rather than fight it, I'm choosing to sit back and get in alignment. And that's what I'm doing when I'm not posting. I'm getting in alignment so that I can post videos like this, which is actually what I'm being called to do, is to post more videos where it's not the cards necessarily. They have their place, and their time, but it's me talking about the journey, experiencing what I'm going through, sharing this with you guys. And that's what I did on my previous channel, and there was so much more engagement because you're getting a piece of me, you're getting a vulnerable piece of me versus just me doing a reading. I'm not saying I'm not going to use the cards. I'm not saying I'm never going to talk about the divine masculine. I'm saying that I'm honoring the space that I'm in. I'm honoring where I'm at. I'm resting a lot right now. I'm resting a ton. And I'm going back to more of a meditative place or space, making time for quiet, making time for solitude. And one thing that I've been mentioning on the videos or in my Patreon posts is you're going to find that you're lonely, but then you just want to be alone. Like, leave me alone. But then you're like, but where is everyone? But I want to be alone. And you're going to try to find the balance between wanting to be alone and then feeling abandoned. And this is part of the runner stage. It's very uncomfortable for most of us, if not all of us. And you're probably able to feel some empathy for what your counterpart went through. So there is that process, but there's also a distance right now between the counterparts, and there needs to be. The focus, if your focus is still on the physical counterpart, you're going to be feeling the ramifications of that, the consequences of that in a very stark way, in a very stark manner. The universe is going to Make sure that you understand that that's not where your focus should be or needs to be or can be at this time. So what we're witnessing with clients is the counterpart, you know, lashing out in some not so nice ways with anger, lashing out at the divine feminine, because now they're in the chaser stage and they're tired. They're like, I can't believe I still want this person, or I can't believe I haven't talked to this person in X amount of time. I thought we were over. I thought this was done. And they're trying to figure out why this is not like a normal relationship, why they couldn't just move on, why the breakup wasn't just, why didn't it stick? Why didn't it stick is what the masculine is thinking. And so the feminine, you know, keeping your space right now is going to be in your best interest. Your counterpart doesn't have the answers. You don't have the answers, in fact. I mean, if you really look within, feminine, I don't have any answers right now in terms, I couldn't, if my counterpart came and sat right here next to me right now, I'd probably tell him to leave, because I don't have any extra energy to give to anyone or anything right now. It's enough for me to fill up my own cup right now. It's enough for me to take care of my animals. It's enough for me to take care of my home. It's enough for me to figure out, do I want to buy or rent next year? It's enough for me to figure out what city do I need to be in. It's enough for me to figure out, what am I going to wear today? What am I going to eat today? What does my body need? What does my soul need? My heart, my mind? That fills my energy and time and my space. And so a lot of feminines, you're going to be feeling like, I just don't have the space or the time or the energy to give to the counterpart anymore. Sorry guys, my allergies are in full effect. So I get, for me, one of the physical symptoms of this journey has been itchiness and rashes. So I apologize for that, but my sinuses are also inflamed. It's part of my physical symptoms that make me feel like shit, honestly. But, you know, I want you guys to understand that the separation period, and whether you believe in the journey or not at this point is fine. You know, whether you guys know that I'm, labels aside, whether you believe in the journey or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're taking care of yourself. What matters is that you're opening your heart to whatever that higher relationship, higher love, higher partnership is going to look like, whether it's between you and God, you and yourself, you and a work partner, business partner, a friend, a family member, whether it's between you and the counterpart, or all of the above. But we're redefining partnerships. This is what we're doing now as we've gone through the switch from the chaser, runner, runner to chaser. We're redefining partnership, redefining what it means to be in a healthy relationship, redefining solitude and loneliness, redefining self-love, redefining self-awareness, redefining what it means to be a feminine and a masculine, and then what it means to be unhealed and healed, redefining what it means to be human, for God's sakes. With all the chaos and all the change and shifting going on out there, and there's a ton of it, guys, turn off your TV. Turn off your TV. If you're used to watching the news, turn it off for a week and see how your mind expands. See how your soul adapts. See how your heart expands in consciousness and awareness. Turn off the TV, turn off Netflix, right? Any distractions that we're trying to turn to right now. Guys, honestly, we could probably all get a trip to Bora Bora right now, and we'd be like, or wherever you're like, wherever the destination is that you'd love to go to, you could get a free trip, and you'd be like, nah, not right now, I'll do it next year or later, because nothing feels really exciting. Part of the runner stage is boredom, apathy, lack of interest. It can feel like depression. So we need to check ourselves. Our mental health is paramount right now, is of paramount importance that we understand, that we check our mental health, that we are not we're not sitting in this space of angst or worry or boredom or you know, apathy, but that we're sharing this with other people, that we're doing things like hopping on a video and sharing with you and like, look, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, it's evident. This is one of the reasons I haven't really wanted to do videos over the past several months, is because I'm just so tired all the time. And yet, this is part of me owning my truth, standing in alignment, sharing vulnerability, which I'm being called to do more and more and more as part of me shifting into the more feminine aspect of myself, the more feminine polarity. Balancing out the masculine and feminine polarity is what we're doing on this journey. You meet your counterpart in the flesh so that you can heal and ascend. You don't meet them so that you can marry them and live happily ever after, although you can, that's an option. Some of you will, some of you won't. But I promise you, you won't die if that doesn't happen. I promise you there's a partner, a higher love out there that you're going to experience, a soulmate or a kindred or somebody who is wanting to do life with you in the way in which you choose to do life with that individual. And some of you will be lifelong friends with your counterpart. Some of you will just choose to go separate ways, and you'll choose to engage in the spiritual partnership and connection. And others of you, yes, you will come into that spiritual and physical union. But one thing is for certain, we don't get there by focusing on the physical counterpart or when or how or why. We've got to take the focus off of the physical counterpart. I cannot stress that enough. You will be drained. You will be viscerally drained right now if you focus on the physical counterpart and why you're not in union and what they're doing and who they're with and the karmic partner, and you're watching readings about the karmic partner. That gets you nowhere on this journey. It's none of your business, frankly, what your counterpart is doing. Yes, it's another incarnation of you in the same lifetime, but it's not your business what that incarnation is choosing to do and how they're choosing to learn their lessons. And we have to understand it's not my business. You know, I stepped away a long time ago. It's not my business because I was making a conscious choice to choose myself. And by choosing myself, I can't choose that physical counterpart because that physical counterpart wasn't in alignment with what I was choosing at that time. Does that make sense? If you guys are struggling with alignment, if you're struggling with stepping back from the counterpart, if you're struggling with physical symptoms, we have another group that we're forming that we're going to launch in the fall. We're going to take a little break. We're going to get ourselves into alignment. We'll be launching that in the fall. We'll start the signups in late July, probably end of July actually. And we'll start probably in September. And it's going to look different than the groups that we've been doing. It's going to look different. It's going to be more intentional and way less focus, if at all, on the physical counterpart. This is a focus on yourself, your inner journey. This is a focus on healing your wounds. It's a focus on healing abandonment, healing unworthiness, healing codependency, casting that net far and wide, creating an environment for healing, creating an environment for learning and understanding this journey and why we're on it and why we chose it and what this all means. How do I heal? How do I find true happiness? How do I find wholeness without the physical counterpart? How do I do this now that I've met this person who I feel like is the love of my life? Or for some of you, you're already in that place, but now you need to find balance, or now you're looking for that abundance part, right? You're looking for that peace, that abundance piece that maybe hasn't come in yet. So we're going to focus on all of those things. We're going to look at things deeper. We're going to look at the astrology of what's occurring. We're going to look at this from a variety of perspectives and bring it all together for you. So I just want to put that out there. We'll be talking more about that as it comes together and comes to fruition. But we want to really make the statement loud and clear that this journey is about you and you alone. It's about you. Yes, your counterpart is you in another body. That does not mean you own that person. That does not mean you get to decide what's best for them or how they learn their lessons or how they come to an awareness or knowledge of who you really are to them. Because honestly, when you meet the counterpart, they may seem awake. They may have that momentary, they may momentarily kind of awaken to the connection and then go back into fear and kind of go back into amnesia. Well, now the feminine is stepping into that amnesia part. So it's going to feel like, almost like you never met the counterpart. Like you're going to feel like you're letting go. And so there's pieces that you're releasing right now. And it can feel very heavy. It can feel very scary. It can feel sad. It might make you feel angry, confused, all of the above. But this is what the counterpart went through. And now they're going through this energetic chaser stage while you energetically run. But think about it, the runner stage, you're exhausted, you're like, I'm exhausted. But in both stages, you're running, chasing or running, you're running. Either way, running away, running towards. So now as we run away, make sure that you're not trying to run away from parts of yourself, the shadow aspect that needs healing, right? The shadow aspect of self. What is it that I turn away from? What realities or beliefs or fears do I turn away from within myself that I need to actually turn towards? Look at yourself and become whole within self. Think of how you're running from the feminine polarity, or how you're running from the masculine polarity, how you're chasing. Oh, so for right now, feminine, if you're watching, look at how within, not even the physical counterpart, cast that aside for a second. Look at yourself as the feminine polarity. How am I running from my own masculine polarity that's inside of me? As the masculine polarity, if you're watching this, how am I chasing my own inner feminine polarity, my own inner feminine piece, my own masculine part or piece? Physical counterpart aside, guys, this is how you heal. You want to attract in that physical counterpart, you've got to do the inner work first. You can't attract in the physical counterpart and then do the inner work. That's not how this journey works. It's not a soulmate journey. It's not it's a different kind of a journey. This is a journey where we go deep within and we investigate what we've been keeping hidden from ourselves. We investigate our traumas. We investigate who we are and what we are. And I can't think of a time where I have always questioned things. I know my Scorpio suns, my Scorpio north nodes out there, my Scorpio risings are like, yep, me too. I've always questioned why, but now more than ever, now I'm looking within. Why? Why have I made those choices? Why did I settle for those things? Why do I feel things so heavy, so emotionally? Why? Not even how, why? Okay, so journaling is good at this time. Meditation, Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga practice, breath practice, right? Getting involved with a sacred breathwork practice. For some of you, it'll be plant medicine. For others of you, you may go into therapy. For others of you, it'll be working with a healer, working with a shaman, working with Holly and myself. You know, we do have sessions where we work with you individually, where both of us work with you, and you're receiving a coaching and a healing session and an education session all in one. And so whatever path you decide to choose, it's going to lead you to your highest and greatest path ultimately. You're going to get there one way or the other. But notice what you're resisting at this time. Notice what you're trying to shut out. Because more than ever, if you're not processing your emotions, they will build up toxicity, and then you'll have those physical symptoms. So what I noticed today is that I had all these emotions come up, and I didn't know where they were coming from. And I just sat there, and I sat in number 7's chair, and I talked to him, and I spoke to him. And I recounted memories and times that we shared. And as the tears flowed, and as I connected with him in that way, I felt his presence so strongly sitting next to me in that chair. And I allowed myself to sit in that uncomfortable space of grief. And I'm sharing that space with you now, that uncomfortable space of intolerable grief, where what you once knew is no longer there. The physical form has vanished, but you feel the presence. But my human self is looking for that physical peace in that physical cat. And it's not there, and it's fucking with my mind. But because I wasn't aware that I was grieving, or I wasn't allowing myself to grieve, I felt exhausted today, exhausted to the point of I could barely get up. I could barely go and I had to get my reading glasses fixed because they were falling off my head. I could barely go and do that. I could barely talk. I could barely function. I could barely formulate a sentence. But as I sat there and processed the grief, and I cried, sat there for, 30, 40, 45 minutes, an hour, I'm not sure. And I came out of it and decided to come here. And I feel calmer, and I can feel the energy, the chi starting to flow again through my body. So if you're, more than ever, if you're feeling emotions, but you're not allowing yourself to process them or to feel them in some way, they're going to come up. They will come up, and they will sneak up on you, and they will likely cause, exhaustion, fatigue, mental, brain fog, depression, anxiety, unannounced fear, etc. So let's deal with our emotions, guys. Let's share. Let's be vulnerable. I'll put this video as a live video so you guys can chat and share with each other and support one another at this time. I have some incredible moderators on this channel, and I want you guys to really focus on healing self right now. Focus on keeping your heart open, remembering that the heart can expand, and just it's a pervasive energy, the heart space versus the mind. The mind is limited. The mind's limited by what it can understand. The heart doesn't need to understand. The heart just feels. So we're in this very, very sensitive, vulnerable, soft time. We're softening our hearts. We're softening from what we've been through, and we're reconnecting with self, reconnecting hopefully with others. When the time, when you're ready for that. So I'm sending you guys a lot of love. I hope this vulnerable share has helped somebody out there to process what they're feeling and what they're going through, giving you guys a piece of my heart today. And I hope to be doing more of these. So if you enjoyed this, please give me the feedback of a like, a share, a subscribe on the channel. These greatly help my channel organically grow. I'm looking forward to working with you, looking forward to meeting you, looking forward to assisting you in your own growth. And take really good care, guys. I'll see you soon. Take care.